Okay, so we've all been there, right? You hop in the shower expecting nice hot water, and bam, it's lukewarm. Or maybe it's just suddenly ice cold.
Oh, yeah. That jarring feeling.
Exactly. And you kind of wonder, is my water heater just having a bad day, or is this, the beginning of the end?
Well, that's the thing. These aren't just minor glitches. They're actually pretty important signals your water heater sends out. Little warnings.
Warnings that it's maybe about to give up the ghost.
Precisely. And ignoring them. That almost always leads to a total failure, usually when it's least convenient, like mid-shower on a cold morning.
Definitely not ideal. So, okay, in this deep dive, we're going to get into decoding those signals. We're looking at the sources you shared on this. We'll cover like the 5 big warning signs that your water heater is struggling.
Yep.
Then there's that big decision. Do you repair it or just replace the whole thing?
A very common dilemma.
And also, how an old unit can secretly be hiking up your energy bills. Plus, we've got some pro tips for maintenance to keep it running longer.
Absolutely. We want to help you move from that panic mode when the hot water cuts out to being a bit more proactive.
Right. And some of these signs are kind of weird, like the sources mention water smelling like pennies or strange noises.
Exactly. Those kinds of things. Things you might easily dismiss, but they're actually vital clues. That faint metallic smell, a new hum.
Yeah.
Those are the signals.
Okay, let's jump into those warning signs then. Besides the really obvious one, like no hot water at all, what's maybe the first more subtle thing we might notice?
Well, often it's the noises. Sounds that weren't there before, rumbling, maybe some popping, sometimes even a high-pitched whining sound.
Popping. What causes that?
Usually it's sediment buildup. Minerals from the water settle at the bottom of the tank, and when the heating element kicks on, water trapped under the sediment boils and pops.
Ah, okay, so the heater has to work harder to heat through that layer of gunk.
Exactly. It's less efficient, puts stress on the tank. It's like your water heater has, indigestion.
Indigestion. I like that. Okay, and speaking of unpleasant things, the water quality itself. That smells like pennies thing you mentioned. What's going on there?
Yeah, that metallic smell, or sometimes you might even see rusty or cloudy water coming out of the hot tap. That's a big red flag.
Okay. Red flag for what?
Corrosion. It usually means the inside of the tank is rusting, or maybe the anode rod, which is supposed to sacrifice itself to prevent rust, is used up.
So if you see actual rust flakes...
Oh, then it's definitely nearing the end. Time to start thinking about replacement seriously. And of course, any leaks, even small puddles around the base.
Right. A leak is never just a small leak with water heaters, is it?
Not really. It often points to a crack or serious internal corrosion, needs immediate attention.
Okay, so we spot these signs, noises, weird water, leaks. Then comes the big question. Repair or replace? How do you make that call? What's the tipping point?
That's a really important calculation. Generally, age is a huge factor. If your tank heater is, say, over 10, maybe 12 years old, replacement starts looking much more sensible.
Even if the repair seems cheaper up front?
Well, yeah, consider the repair cost. If it's more than, 50% of the cost of a new unit, you're probably better off replacing it, especially since newer models are way more energy efficient. You avoid sinking money into an old appliance that's likely to fail again soon anyway.
That makes sense. And that links right into the energy bill issue. How does an aging water heater sort of quietly inflate your bills?
Yeah.
Because it's not always obvious, is it?
Not at all. It's quite insidious. As that sediment builds up, like we talked about, and maybe the insulation degrades over time, the heater just has to run longer and work harder.
To heat the same amount of water it used to heat easily.
Precisely. It's constantly trying to catch up, burning more gas or using more electricity. It's like driving your car with the parking brake slightly on, it just eats up fuel, or in this case, energy. And that cost adds up month after month on your bill. It's like an invisible tax for delaying maintenance.
Wow, okay. That really puts it into perspective. So before we wrap this up, what are maybe 1 or 2 really practical pro tips, things people can actually do?
Sure. The single best thing, honestly, is to flush the tank once a year. Just drain it out.
To get rid of that sediment.
Exactly. Removes the buildup, improves efficiency, and definitely extends the lifespan. Takes a bit of time, but it's worth it.
Okay, flushing annually. What else?
Check the anode rod, maybe every few years. It's designed to corrode instead of your tank. Replacing it is relatively cheap and can add years to your heater's life. Think of it like changing the oil in your car. Basic, vital maintenance.
Got it. Flush the tank, check the rod. Simple but effective.
Absolutely. Ignoring these things, these warning signs, it just sets you up for that emergency replacement scenario. Always more stressful, always more expensive.
Yeah, you really want to avoid that sudden cold shower and the frantic call to a plumber. Being proactive seems key.
It really is. Understanding these signs lets you stay in control.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. As you're thinking about your water heater now, maybe also consider what other essential, maybe overlooked parts of your daily routine might be sending out subtle signals. Hints that they need attention before they just stop working.
That's a great question. What else are we ignoring until it breaks? Something to think about.